The night becomes the day, and the day you stand. And the day you stand, it is always a new day, is always a new day to be reckoned with, to be reckoned with. A reckoning is a facing oneself. A reckoning is a facing of oneself and all of one's creations, and all of one's creations, where you stand now. And where you stand now as a civilization is at a precipice, is at a precipice of great choice, How will we know ourselves? How will we know ourselves? How will we claim our neighbors? How will we claim our neighbors? How will we decide in truth? How will we decide in truth? What will we mean? What will we mean when we say we care for our brothers? When we say we care for our brothers, what will we mean? What will we mean when we decide to live a life? When we decide to live a life outside the law? Outside the law, what will it mean? What will it mean when we agree? When we agree to things we would never agree to. We would never agree to prior. The days are coming fast. The days are coming fast as they come quickly, and as they come quickly, they come with their lessons. They come with their lessons for one and all. For one and all, the days of waiting are over. The days of waiting are over. The time has come to see the self. The time has come to see the self, the individual self, yes. The individual self, yes, but the collective self as well. But the collective self as well, and regain control. And regain control of the true authority, that was given to you, at the inception of your soul. At the inception of your soul, the divine self as you. The divine self as you is who has come, is who will teach you, is who will teach you, is who will lead you forward, is who will lead you forward on all days, darkness and light, the divine self as you. The divine self as you is who is your mentor, is who is your mentor in every lesson you can claim, in every lesson you can claim, each one of you here, by nature of your being, its awakening, is contributing to the awakening that is happening across this globe, What an awakening looks like is not always genteel, or polite, or what to choose, or what you would choose. Some awakened by thunder, some awakened by thunder, some by rain, some by the quaking of the earth, some by the quaking of the earth, some by the gentle kiss on the forehead, some by the gentle kiss on the forehead of the Father. It matters not at this juncture. What we do say is, no one may remain asleep. No one may remain asleep in the coming days. Now when we speak of days, we don't speak of time. We don't speak of time as you understand time, you understand passage. But if you understand passage, the passage that you are in now is one of contention, and reckoning the tension that is born out of fear, as a catalyst for change, is a great one. It's not the only way to change. It is not the only way to change, but many of you have chosen this. But many of you have chosen this in caution, because you think it's the right thing to do, I will decide for myself when the time comes. I will decide for myself when the time comes how I will be met, how I will choose my life, who I will give my authority to, who I will give my authority to, or not perhaps. That is reasoning. That is reasoning that will fall by the wayside, in the coming days. The idea of reason, inconvenience that you will choose the milk, is that you will choose the milk or the cream that goes in your coffee, dependent upon your mood and the quality of the milk or cream, and the quality of the milk or cream when the table is overturned. When the table is overturned, there is no milk or cream to be had. What you have before you, and what you have before you is change. That must be met at the level of consciousness, at the level of consciousness that you have attained thus far. Then you have attained thus far. The direction you go is always dependent on the level of agreement you've made, on the level of agreement you've made to be who and what you are, I am the strong man who contends with all things. I am the strong man who contends with All things will be met by the strong man, will be met by the strong man, who contends with all things, who contends with all things in the ways he assumes he should, in the ways he assumes he should. The divine self as you. The divine self as you is the one to count on now, is the one to count on now. The days of old. The days of old have been governed, of being governed by the obsolete, but by the obsolete have come to know themselves in a finite way, and the reckoning we have with each of you as you decide, you are here, will catalyze you through the passage, through the awakening in the ways that are most beneficial, We will say these words to each of you. We will say these words to each of you. The time has come for each man. The time has come for each man, each woman, if you like, each woman, if you like, to claim authority over the old, which simply means you agree to the old. You agree to the old as what it was, and you walk away. You release what is no longer in agreement, what is no longer in agreement in the vibration of truth, Now, the vibration of truth must be understood here. When you align to truth. When you align to truth as a field, you literally give expression to who and what you are, to who and what you are in and as that vibration. What will not be held, but what will not be held at that level of agreement is the artifice that you have claimed as you, the self-judgments or judgment of others, the self-judgments or judgments of others, which are always made in fear, the convenience of mores of society, the convenience of the mores of society that pretend to be in truth, but are merely replicating habits, that have been handed down through generations, the vibrations of each of you. The vibrations of each of you, the divine is what you are, the divine as what you are, every with truth, in agreement to truth, reclaims who and what you are, reclaims who and what you are in a vastly different way than you known, in a vastly different way than you have known. You may no longer be counted on. You may no longer be counted on to be what you were, in the ways that you've been, to serve your small selves' needs, to claim authority over another, to do what she thinks she should, to be the woman she thinks she's supposed to be the woman she thinks she's supposed to be, or the man who thinks he will please the world. He will please the world by obeying to the rules of the day. The time has come, we say, friends. The time has come, we say, friends, for a reckoning of the self, if we would all imagine from it. And if you would all imagine for a moment that there is a mirror before you, a grand mirror if you wish, that you see yourself in, naked and unashamed. You may witness yourself as you truly are, the divine as you will show herself. The divine as you will show herself in this mirror, will show himself in this mirror, and if you reckon with him, which means to see him as he is, her as he is, you will know immediately what you are not. You will know immediately what you are not, and what you are not, and what you are not is what you have claimed, and agreed to be as a small self, navigating a world, but is instructed in fear, that has instructed you to be in fear. The changes that come now are the changes of grace, and the changes of welcome, but how they come may not feel welcome, or be anticipated by you, one and all, one and all. When grace comes, she comes in strange ways. She comes in strange ways. She is never decided upon. She is never decided upon. She arrives at her own will. She arrives at her own will to calm the stormy sea, to calm the stormy sea, to clear the stormy clouds, to clear the stormy clouds, to settle the earth that has been shaken beneath your feet, that has been shaking beneath your feet. This is not a teaching of restoration. This is not a teaching of restoration. Oh, how good that the ground stopped shaking. Oh, how good that the ground stopped shaking. It is a teaching. It is a teaching of realization, Look what the ground revealed. Look what the ground revealed as it shook the earth free of what it's claimed, that was never true, Look at the refuse we have buried. Look at the refuse we have buried, the corpses of old, the riches buried for safekeeping, while millions starved, that could have been fed with the fruits of those millions, the desires you have, to be who and what you think you should be, will be releasing from you, from your bodies, from your fields, in rapid ways, when change comes this way. When change comes this way, change comes with an agreement to do its job well, underline the word well, which means in completeness, the days of choosing one little thing to work on, to fix perhaps, to say that you are improving, so that you may say that you are improving, have ended. What is happening now? What is happening now is catalytic to the human race, and in a catalyst a change is born. How do you align to change? But to agree to it, and to not witness in fear, when the storm clouds come, when the earth reveals her secrets, when the neighbor you trusted may not be who you thought he was, may not be who she thought she was, and the one you never trusted, is really big to his friend, is revealed to be your dearest friend. When times of revelation come, they are never convenient, they are always required, and they are always required. The human race, we say, has a great investment, in doing what it's done, and replicating the old, so she may have her way, as she has known it, the divine self as you, knows far more than you think, and she will offer you, the tutelage, the instruction, the willingness, if that is what is required, to forge ahead, on the paths you have chosen for yourselves, the awareness you each have now. The awareness you each have of who and what you are, will claim you far farther, than you are even aware of, Well, I don't feel different, you may say. Well, I don't feel different, you may say, but in fact you are. Those of you who make the claim, I know who I am in truth. I know who I am in truth. I know what I am in truth. I know how I serve in truth. Have set an intention, align your field, and align your field to the vibration of truth. And because you are now operating as truth, in some ways what what happens is you are carried by the wave, is that you are carried by the wave of truth, yes, the wave of truth, yes, that might otherwise pummel you on the rocks, that might otherwise pummel you on the rocks to wake you up, to wake you up. You've made the agreement, you have made the agreement, and now you will live, and now you will live and agree as you may live, as you may live and agree in the truth of being, in the truth of being that is investing itself, that is investing itself in all manifestation, in all manifestation. We will say these things. We will say these things not to frighten you, but to prepare you, for the joy that comes, for the joy that comes in the awareness of change, if you can understand, that the fire paves the way for new growth, that the fire paves the way for new growth, that the sea rising may wash away what is no longer necessary, may wash away what is no longer necessary, that the rain may come, and drop with it the necessary nourishment for new growth, in the fields that have been barren, in the fields that have been barren. You may see that what appears to be a disaster, may be a great gift, once the rain ceases, the joy we have in teaching you is that we are already aware, of manifestation as what you are, so our perception of you is never limited to the roles you've been ascribed to the roles you have been ascribed to. We will ask people to be quiet. Through this teaching. We're being very specific. We are being very specific with our language, and he is operating as a dictating machine, at this moment. So don't nudge the machine unintentionally, or it will falter. The grand gesture that you are assuming yourselves as, is I am in change, with all things. I am in change. I am in change, as all things are. I am in alignment. With the change required, to the changes that are required for my benefit, and the benefit of all, and the benefit of all. The world you see before you. The world you see before you is in transition, yes. And the claims you make at this time, to know the self in new ways, I know who I am in truth. I know who I am in truth. I know what I am in truth. I know how I serve in truth. Will be met by you as a new world. As a new world begins to unfold. We will stop this dictation a moment. We will stop this dictation in a moment. We may take your questions, We'll also invite you now. But we will also invite you now to make a decision. That you are willing to be the one. That you are willing to be the one in change. You are willing to be the one. That you are willing to be the one in catalysm. For the change of others. That you are willing to be the one. That you are willing to be the one who says yes. What will come, to what will come, even on a day when you expected sun, and the thunder clapped, you may celebrate what the thunder brings, We will say these last words to you now. Be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for what you have, for all you've known, and also be willing. To let them go. If they are no longer needed. If they are no longer needed or required. If they are simply there. For comfort, for comfort if they no longer serve your growth. If they no longer serve your growth, you may well find yourself releasing them anyway. Releasing them anyway. Pause now, Paul. Pause now, Paul, and take a moment to recover. And take a moment to recover. We'll continue in a moment. We will continue in a moment. Stop now, please, period. Stop now, please, period.